Hi there, it's Churchill Cigar. Welcome back for another cigarette review, and today I get a packet of Luxembourgish cigarettes. It's a fairly old brand. It's called Maryland. Yeah, like the I was gonna say like the United States, but like one of the states in the Union. Okay, Maryland 25 cigarettes. Yeah, first things first, take a look at the packet. A very old school, very vintage type of look. Um, the packaging hasn't changed since at least the 1970s. I'm going to talk about the history of the brand in just a second. New light. So you can see it's red. What kind of, fairly dark red color, almost burgundy. So, uh, yeah, the rest you name it, white band, and then it says Maryland, handwritten fashion, handwritten type of, of writing, handwritten type of writing. Well, that's not a great scene, but bear with me. It's the first time I review something I do a video for, since July, so since late July. So these cigarettes are made by Heinz van Landerbeek. So it's a company in Luxembourg. It's his own company. I mean, it's not owned by either British American Tobacco, Philip Morris, what have you. Yeah, British American Tobacco, Imperial Tobacco, all those big names. No, Hans van Landerbeek. It's their own brand. So it's pretty much one of the only smaller type of companies still manufacturing those cigarettes and owning the brands and the trademarks and such. Well, on it says on I guess it's in, sorry, yeah, a bit of cotton just under my finger. Oh no, it's just a bit of ash. Sorry for that. Yeah, here it says Puren Tubak sus neist. Well, it's Luxembourgish, which is very close to German, except that it seems a lot like Dutch at the same time, and with a French type of grammar. Yeah, syntax and the way the sentences are organized is a lot like French or English. So I don't know what sus neige. I'm gonna put a note here and says what it says here, because you can't see. It's just right here. Sorry, it's very hard for me to do that type of things. So pure tobaccos, and then I don't know, but it's the motto. Hans van Landerbeek, Zanter, 1947, Lloydsbourg. So Luxembourg since 1847. 25 cigarettes. This packet cost me very recently, so this is current price, €5.70, which is very reasonable compared to most other countries in Europe, except if you go in the eastern part of Europe, but wages are on the same there. So 25, it's got the barcode here, it says 25. And that part, already 4 minutes in the video, and I haven't taken a puff. Not sure it's alright. Well, and then of course the bottom, it says Miriam. So front with 30% warning here, soon it's gonna be changed. 40% on the back, and yeah, it's a soft pack, obviously. So there is one cigarette left in it. Take a look at it. It looks a lot like Belga cigarettes or additive-free cigarettes. Talking of Hans van Landerbeek, additive-free cigarettes, which I reviewed. If you haven't checked out that review, there is a review on additive-free red cigarettes, and these are made by the same manufacturer. The first complaint I get with these cigarettes is that the packet doesn't come wrapped in cellophane. Most packs, even soft packs, have Since the 1950s or 60s, most packs come in a cellophane wrapper. These don't. They are made in Luxembourg. I know the place it's made in. Oh shit, is it? I'm not sure. I can't remember the name of the city where they made, but I remember on, just on the road I saw the factory and it says in big Maryland, ons cigarette, so all cigarettes, Luxembourgish cigarettes. That brand isn't distributed anywhere else. As far as I know, there is a blonde version of these cigarettes, Maryland Blondes, just like you have the Gauloise Blonde. These, I think, are or were sold in France at one time, or in Belgium, but that version, no. Well, so I was gonna say it looks a lot like an additive-free cigarette. Same length, so it's about 70 millimeters. Size that I call regular. In Canada, they still favor that type of length. It's called regular. In fact, about 70 millimeters, probably 71, 72. Some are, like the Gitans are now 68 or 69, something like that. Around 70 millimeters. It's called regular. It's slightly, very slightly wider gauge than a regular king-size Marlboro, for example. Yeah, tobacco tone, it's a little darker than most American blend. On it, it's written Maryland, it reads Maryland, and the same type of handwriting thing here. So, smells as it says pure tobacco. And it smells really, really clean, it smells really, yeah, pure, I would say. It's not sweetened, it doesn't have any distinctive particular vanilla aroma, or that when you smell the camels, for example, it smells like brown sugar. Or here it smells like a good tobacco blend. A good blend of tobacco, which is a slight hint of hay or that type of smell. It's not musky. It's a little, very tad sweet. It's rather sweet. Sweet hay. Yeah, it smells like that. So let's get started. First things first, there is not what I call a line of perforation, but a small cloudy part of perforation in the center of the filter right here. Little spread perforations, which is, my favorite type of perforation. Is for, doesn't make any sense, but it's good. It's a good cigarette. It's well manufactured. There is no problem other than not having a cellophane on it. So it's a cigarette you buy and you smoke as fast as possible. Or else you buy by the carton, and then it's a paper envelope to. The sleeve is like paper. It's not cellophane either. So yeah, I don't know if it has a long shelf life. It isn't dry. It is not dry when I open the pack. So I mean, it's okay. At least it's not like the first package of Gauloise until 1965. It was only a single paper envelope. This, at least, it's got the double envelope. So inside of it, as with other packs of cigarette, like the Marlboros and soft pack in the USA, you get a double envelope. Okay, you get the outer part. Yeah, paper, and then inside you get an aluminum type of, tinfoil type of packet inside, which is a better protection. But add a cellophane, you're ready to go for months with your cigarette. Now, first rack, I don't notice any papery, chemical, annoying type of taste. Now, talking about the brand's history, because it's important to the review, as much information as I've found on these, apparently the brand has been introduced in 1944 And you know, obviously at the time only an unfiltered cigarette, same size, same everything, except for the packet, which is still sold. You can still buy Maryland unfiltered, except that they comply to EU regulations, so 10 milligrams tar, and they have like 0.8 milligrams of nicotine and 7 milligrams of carbon monoxide, so pretty light for an unfiltered cigarette as far as status. But they still exist, and the packet is like pink, old pink, and not flashy pink, but old type of pink color, and it says Maryland in a diagonal like that, in brown reddish letters, Maryland. It just says Maryland, and cigarettes probably. I don't even know if it says like here 25. And yeah, these were introduced probably in the late 1960s or early 70s. It's a filtered version of the same cigarettes with this type of pack. Hasn't changed much since the early days, obviously, except for the warnings, which didn't appear before 2004. You know, in 1992 you got the small warning saying the same thing: smoking can kill, and then on the back, smoking can cause a slow and painful death. Well, we all know. Stats, I forgot to mention: 10 milligrams tar, 0.8 milligrams nicotine, 10 milligrams carbon monoxide. So pretty standard, pretty average for what is considered full flavored in Europe. It's medium strength overall. Well, now talking about the taste, because talk and it burns. It goes down rather smooth, in fact. A little less smooth than probably I would say Camel Blue. You know, those light cigarettes. It's got some kick. It's comparable to a Marlboro Red. In fact, in terms of kick, this is nowhere near Gitan, for example, which have due to the alkaline pH of the smoke, it's kind of like a small cigar, which means it's got a throat hit, a throat resistance, if you like. Here, not so much. You feel it going down. It's got a type of tickle in the throat, but not too bad. Very short cigarette. Well, not very short, but regular length. I like the taste of it. Taste. Now, to describe the taste, you take a Gitan, the type, or if you've never smoked a Gitan or a Gauloise Brune, the closest thing to which I can, what's the word now? Forget the word. Relate. The taste is a crossbred between a Gitan or a small cigar type of thing, like the Café Crème and stuff like that, and a more American blend type of tobacco. You take like the Camel additive-free mixed with a Gitan, and I think you would get something close to what it tastes. So it's a little less harsh, a little less acrid and earthy in taste than a Gitan, but still, compared to a Marlboro Red even, it's got a darker taste, slightly more bitter than a Marlboro, for example. And that's the name, why call the brand Maryland? Because Maryland, until recently, was one of the major tobacco states in the United States. Despite its the rather small size of Maryland and the whole United States of America, there were plenty of tobacco plantations in it, and they produced the type of tobacco that was grown in that state was a type of burley, which is air cured. I'll talk about that in a separate video, which is, I promised since March or something, I still must do to explain quickly. But if you don't know, if you want to know already what it is, just check on Wikipedia, Burley and air cure tobaccos. Driver Rob 73 told me that, near his house, back in the days, maybe 20 years ago or something, there were plenty of tobacco called Maryland, but I can't remember the exact name of the tobacco, the variety that was used, like M22 or something, and which had the particularity of being being able to burn consistently and all the way through, because some tobaccos, were not so great on the burning characteristics of the tobaccos, but here it was a tobacco that didn't have a lot of flavor, or its own distinctive flavor, but which was used in the blend of American cigarettes for its burning characteristic. Now they don't need that because of reconstituted sheet tobacco, not shit. Already to the end. Very good cigarette. Now, because reconstituted sheet tobacco, they don't need a special variety that burns really good. I mean, they can play with chemicals and things like that to enhance the burning characteristics of the tobacco. But Maryland is a type of, there were a variety of Gauloises that were Maryland taste, Goût Maryland. So it's a slightly less accurate, slightly less bitter than the tabac brun, dark tobaccos, dark air-cured tobaccos used in Gauloise and Gitane, that type of French cigarette, also Ducados in Spain, that type of tobaccos. But Maryland, it's also very, in Switzerland, it was very popular type of taste. As I said, slightly less bitter than Gitane, but a little more than a Marlboro Red, for example. Slightly more bitter. It tastes really good. Those cigarettes, I opened the pack and I smoked like, ooh, that was okay. And that to me is a sign of a good cigarette. If I stick to the packets and empty it with no problem, some cigarettes I open the pack and then I need to smoke others in between, until the pack is finished. So sometimes I need over a week to finish a pack. If it's a pack of 20, I smoke 2, 3, 4 a day. Here, no, I just open the pack and smoke it thoroughly. Yeah, now 25 cigarettes in packets. Very, very good cigarette. As far as nicotine hit, it's not the biggest kick you've ever had, but it's definitely satisfying. I like those cigarettes very, very good. I just bought 2 packs yesterday. When I go to Luxembourg, I pick up a few packs, not a whole carton, because I have tons of tobacco for the moment, so I don't want to spend all my money on tobacco. So yeah, that was it. Maryland, talked about everything, at least, that's coming now to my mind. So fairly long review, sorry, 19 minutes is gonna be a lot, but anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked that video. Some videos gonna be shorter. Had enough to tell about those cigarettes. If you have to remember something about them, it is good. If you see them, pick a pack. You won't be, at least me, I'm never disappointed with that. It's a cigarette produced in Luxembourg, so a locally produced cigarette from an independent company. I think they're gonna suppress the brand Belgium, which was one of my favorite brand, if not my favorite brand that I could pick up, locally here, my local tobacconist. So I think I'm gonna stick to this one. Locally produced, very, very, very nice cigarette. Yeah, Hans van Lundewijk. The pack is really old school. You would never launch a pack today with that type of design. And I've often seen that packet smoked by rather old people also, typically in Luxembourg, you know, until January of this year you could smoke inside. And I saw a lot of people smoking these. It's advertised as Maryland und Zigarette, or cigarette, identity for Luxembourg. Yeah, a very, very, very good cigarette in my opinion. I'm gonna give it a 9. Why 9? Why 9? Mostly because it doesn't come in a cellophane wrap around the whole packet. That's a little peppy for me. You know, if anybody from Hans van Lundenwijk is hearing me, sell these. They sell additive-free cigarettes wrapped in cellophane just across the border in Germany. And why not sell these in a cellophane? I mean, you don't need to change anything on the pack design. Just add a cellophane wrap, it would be fine. I'm gonna pack it, and it's medium burning, at least for that size of cigarettes, satisfying length. Short time, I like it. Satisfying nicotine. It's not huge bars, but it's not a light cigarette either. So I can't do anything but recommend that brand to you. That was it for this fucking very long review, and thanks for watching. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed it. Any comments? Welcome. Comments are even more welcome than thumbs up. But you can also thumbs up. Subscribe. I get 190-ish subscribers now, which is very, very nice. Thank you to all. Remember, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, as long as you aim well.